And Nicole, I hate sitting around while someone reads my intro, so I'm actually going to do you a favor. I think it's really hard to be on air because like, yes, that's me. That's what all the things I say about myself. So I'm just going to introduce Nicole, and then I'm going to bring her up to share with us her topic. Nicole Wallet is the owner of Breaking Even Communications, an internet marketing company founded in 2008 with the question, so I have a website, now what? Breaking Even Communications helps businesses and nonprofits with online ads, content marketing, social media, email newsletters, blogging, and more. Nicole also teaches workshops on these topics, which is how she got connected with me and became a certified virtual event professional through my 5% Advantage program. Now, because of social media's shift towards prioritizing live video in their algorithms and Nicole's hatred of editing video footage for herself, Nicole began live streaming weekly on social media about a year ago. Having become intimately familiar with StreamYard as part of these broadcasts, she's confident that event professionals here today would appreciate a virtual streaming tool in their virtual event tool belt. She'll go over a quick case for live streams, show some of the features of StreamYard and how it differs from Zoom, and show a few case studies of clients and friends running interesting live streams for their businesses and nonprofits. Without further delay, here is Nicole.
Thanks, Robbie. Appreciate it. So I've been wanting to do this for a little bit, so I really appreciate getting to present in front of this group. So yeah, I am going to share my screen now, and share screen will stop others' computers from sharing sound. Do I want to continue? Yes. All right. None of you can share sound anymore, so just deal with that disappointment as you will. So don't worry, there's only like 5 slides. Yeah, don't want you to think you're sitting through this like really long presentation. But basically, I got into live streaming because I wanted to create content on social media, but was noticing that it takes a long time and that things that I would work really hard on creating wouldn't necessarily get seen by people. So I thought, okay, this live streaming thing seems to be kind of like a big deal. And while I'm not a cool gamer or a fashion blogger, I thought I would give it a shot anyway. So I kind of want to make a little bit of a case for live streaming. I know those of us who use Zoom, we use it to have meetings and stuff like that. And obviously you can use Zoom to live stream. So one of the things you can do in your Zoom settings, obviously, is you can connect to an RTMP server. And that's what Facebook pages and YouTube channels and stuff use. So you can connect your Zoom to a live streaming platform. I like to use a standalone live streaming platform, and you'll see in a second why, but no matter how you do it, live streaming tends to be kind of helpful. First of all, what I really like about it is because it's a live stream, no one expects any editing or post-production. You record it, you press stop, and you're done. I used to work at a newspaper, and they made me they called it weekday weather. I had to do a daily weather report. So I had to put on a full face of makeup. I had to go somewhere in town, and I had to record myself doing the weather, and then I had to come back and edit it. And that experience scarred me. It also made me really aware, though, of all my weird tics and things like that. I'm very aware that I say, there are certain things that I do. I get it. But I don't like editing myself. I'm fine editing other people, but watching myself on video, I feel like, I don't know, a butterball or not very well composed. So the non-editing thing really speaks to me as a lazy editor and someone who just doesn't want to edit myself. Also, you probably have noticed, if you've been on social media for any length of time, that you notice when you're following someone on Instagram, it lets you know that they're going live, or Facebook, there's that little they're going live, and that live video seems to be prioritized in your feed. Everything is moving toward video. And so I get it. If you don't like being on video, I understand. But I was of the mindset of not fighting City Hall on this one. And so to me, if a social platform is directly saying, as Instagram said about a month ago, we're a video platform now. Like the head of Instagram, they consider themselves a video platform now versus a photo sharing platform. So I'm just moving in the direction of the times here and going on video. What I also like about live streaming is you can have interactive elements. Like you can have your audience, be leaving comments. You can add people in as guests, but you have a lot more control over it. So if we were streaming this Zoom broadcast and let's say someone came in, they would, and I added them, they would be in the live stream. With software, I can keep people in what's called the green room. So I see that they've joined, but I haven't added them to where everyone else can see them yet. So I just like the amount of control that this gives me for the kinds of things that I'm doing. Like I said, to me, Zoom's a tool and this is a tool. And I don't necessarily say that one tool is good for everything, right? It's good to have a few tools in our toolbox. So to me, this is one of them. And honestly, if you're going to be an event professional, showing yourself on live video and that you can deal with things, and when things come up, you can adjust. I actually got rehired by a client because they saw one of my live stream videos and they're like, oh yeah, we want to do stuff like that. So they like rehired me essentially to do some work for them based on just seeing one of my live streams. So I'm talking about StreamYard today, but all of these platforms work very similarly. So if you'd rather use Restream or OneStream or one of the other web-based stream platforms that are out there, they all have very similar features, I think. There is kind of this really good open source standalone one called OBS. I should have remembered what that stood for. But you download it and put it on your computer, and it gives you a ton of settings. Like if you wanted multiple cameras and to be talking to a camera and then switch to the other camera, that's one of the things you can do in OBS. But if you're somebody who's never live streamed before, like I opened up OBS and I was like, oh, this is a lot. So what I suggest doing is maybe using a tool that makes, that is on the internet, you can just log into, start, you know what I mean? And then once you start wanting some of those things, once you start wanting multiple camera angles and all of that, then you can switch to something that's a little bit more advanced. But what I like about StreamYard is it integrates with all social media. And if you've ever tried to integrate anything with Instagram, you know that it's a pain in the butt. So what I appreciate someone came up with is yellowduck.tv. Now, StreamYard, you'll see in a minute, it's got a logo that's like a little duck. And so someone made this thing called Yellow Duck, which basically makes it so StreamYard will work with Instagram. So if you don't see Instagram in the destinations, there is a way to do it. You can also stream a pre-recorded file. So let's say that I always do my live stream on Tuesday mornings for a really weird personal reason. Let's say I wanted to take a Tuesday morning off. I could record something and have it go live at that exact same time, even though I'm not there. It would still be a live stream. I know it's weird to think about a pre-recorded live stream, but you'll see in a second. And then the other thing it does is obviously wherever I'm streaming to, if I'm going to YouTube, to Facebook, to Twitter, after I broadcast and press stop, unless I say delete the recordings, all the recordings will stay on those individual platforms. But StreamYard also has a copy too. So I can, if I want to download it and if I want to cut it up into clips or something like that, or if I want to just download the audio file, I'm able to do that. And just one little caveat, LinkedIn is a pain in my butt. I've applied to be a live streamer on LinkedIn 6 times and they have rejected me for no reason 6 times. And I see some I see some great people streaming on LinkedIn, and there's a couple of people I see that I'm like, really? You accepted them and not me? I don't know about their taste. So if you don't get accepted on LinkedIn streaming, just understand that I am with you. Solidarity there. So I just manually upload my videos to LinkedIn because gosh darn it, people are going to see them anyway. And this is my last thing I'll say. And then I'm going to just do a very quick demo of what the backend looks like so that you don't feel intimidated by it, and show you a couple of my friends and people who are using it and what they are getting from it. What I like about online streaming is it basically gives you 3 points of marketing. The first of all is when I schedule the stream. So for example, I go live every Tuesday. And I can't schedule more than a week ahead of time. So immediately when I'm done Tuesday, I schedule next week's stream just so I don't forget. So it creates a preview, and that preview is visible on Facebook and YouTube. And people can see it and they can say, oh, that they're interested in it, and they'll get a notification when it happens. So marketing opportunity 1, this is coming up. Then when I go live, a little notification goes to people who are following me. It says, Nicole Willett or Brinkman Communications is live streaming now. Click here to join. So it goes on to all the social media channels I want it to go to, except LinkedIn, but I manually upload it after. And then there's a few people who watch live. I won't lie. There's not a lot of people who necessarily are sitting at their computer at 9:15 a.m. on Tuesday morning, just ready to just hear everything I have to say. There's like 5 of them, maybe 10 on a good day. But what really happens is a lot of people rewatch the broadcast. And I was pulling some stats about live events for a client because they were considering having one. And I was reading one study that, for conferences and these virtual events, 70% of people will watch the broadcast afterward, which I thought was kind of a bigger number than I was expecting, I'll be honest with you. But for me, the rewatching, yes, it happens. If someone's on Facebook, they might watch it on Facebook later. But I have it so that it goes from my YouTube channel onto my blog, and then my blog goes to my email list. So it is like a little marketing engine. And it takes me about probably 2 hours a week by the time I figure out the topic, make the graphic, do the stream, and then upload it to LinkedIn because it's special and needs special attention. So I just want to give you a very, very quick, like I said, just a couple of things. So this is how I make it so that when I post a new video to YouTube, it goes onto, I have a WordPress website. If you have a different kind of website, there's all of these things that will help you integrate. So when you post a new video, it will automatically help you create a blog post with that video without necessarily doing a bunch of extra data entry. So just wanted to put that out there. There's Zapier or Zapier, depending on what continent you live on. And there's also If This Then That, IFTTT.com, which is a very similar idea. It's just a way to integrate two things that don't necessarily talk to each other to make them talk to each other. And I just wanted to show you what a preview looks like. So this is my Facebook page. So I scheduled this broadcast. I plan to go live. I don't know why it's doing this weird thing to my thumbnail, but as you see, some people liked it, it engaged people. And there's this little thing here where people can get a reminder. So if someone is like, oh, that topic interests me, they can click get a reminder. And this happens on YouTube too. It's just easier to see on Facebook when you're on a desktop computer. So that's the one I pulled up. So like I said, this is StreamYard, note the duck. I feel like any web company has to have a cute animal as their mascot. It's part of the thing. But if you want to use one stream or restream, like I said, there's tons of them out there. So if there's another platform you're more comfortable with, just use that. So these are my upcoming broadcasts. And as you see, I've demonstrated this a few times, hence the test broadcast. And then I have the destination. So these are all the places I can stream to. It's very easy if I want to add a destination. So there's all this, and then there's the custom. That's basically for Instagram, essentially. But if I wanted to integrate with a different YouTube channel, I would click on that, and it would just kind of go through, it'll say what Google account. I have a ton of Google accounts because, I don't know, I feel like I'm constantly signing in and out of Google accounts all day. And then it'll say, great, this is you. Okay, which one of your channels do you want to pull in? Because I have access to more than one channel. So these are all the channels I have access to. And then I would let's just click these guys. They won't mind. And then it says, do you want to allow it? Yes. So now I can stream as the Bar Harbor Jam Company. I don't think my friend Mike will mind. So I won't actually stream as them, but I just want to show you that's how easy it is to add a destination. As long as you have having your password is basically the hardest part of it. I have to enable live streaming on this particular YouTube account. It just takes about 24 hours once you turn on live streaming on YouTube for it to actually take effect. So just if you're going to do a live stream on YouTube, think about turning on live streaming 48-ish hours ahead of time. It's the only one you have to do that with, but essentially it's very easy to add destinations, and you can seemingly have infinite destinations back here. I've had more than this. I've just deleted some of them as things go by. So, and then when it comes to creating a broadcast, it's really straightforward. Create a broadcast. And as you see, I can either make a new broadcast or that pre-recorded video thing I was telling you about. And then you just follow the things and it sets it up. So let me just go into my studio here. Now it's going to be a little bit inception-y, right? Because I'm on video and we're going on video again. So it's you can't hear it, but I'm just going to mute myself anyway. It's going to my other camera, but if I want to, I can switch to my other camera. So if I wanted to do a cool multi-camera thing, I could. So there we go. It's picking the thing I want to pick. This is my display name, and I enter the studio. Now, as you see here, do you see how I'm grayed out on the bottom? I'm really small, like in the lower left-hand corner. I'm not in the stream yet. What it's showing here is this is what everyone will see once I click go live. This is what everyone would see. So now I'm in the stream, and now I'm out of the stream. In the stream, out of the stream. So what I can do is I can share the link to this broadcast with other people, and I can have up to 10 people under here grayed out. And this is what they call the green room. So I can see, so if I was having Robbie on as a guest and I'm introducing, I can kind of keep him in the background, and then I can add him to the broadcast. So you can have, like I said, up to 10 people back here, which is a bit much, but you can do that. And then you have this private chat area. So if you, like, let's say I see Robbie gets up and I'm like, I'm typing, hey, Robbie, where are you going? Oh, I got to go help my kid. It's like stall for 5 minutes. Okay. So we can have this whole conversation in the private chat. But anyway, once I'm on the stream, this is what it looks like. And I can, share my screen, I can, like, I'm sharing my screen. Anyway, I can share my screen. I can add myself. But the main things I kind of want to show you is that when you're live streaming, right, you're on a social media platform where people can leave comments. This is a sample comment, obviously. StreamYard doesn't comment on my stuff. But if I was talking and somebody left a comment, I could highlight it on the screen. And as you see, I just have a lot of control over the person who's producing this. Now, the other thing I have is I can make what are called banners. And this is just, it'll show on the screen, and I can do my branding in terms of what that looks like in this little brand tab. I can pick the color. I don't have infinite choices in terms of fonts, but we can change the look of it pretty easily. I can do what are called overlays, which will show, a picture. I can also do overlays with video clips, and I can play up to 10-minute long video clips. Don't ask me how I found out the limit on that one. It's a funny story though. And what it does with the video is it puts it full screen, and it mutes me and anybody else who would be on the broadcast. So, when you try to share a YouTube video in a Zoom thing and you're like, share your screen and then you try to make it big after it plays, this kind of takes out some of that, awkward is too strong a word, but it takes out some of that. And in terms of going live, as you see here, this is a broadcast I have scheduled for Tuesday morning at 9:15. I can click go live, this blue button in the upper right-hand corner, and it will tell me like you are live, and I can hit stop and it will tell me it is done. That is how hard it is to live stream, which is to say not that hard. You just need to practice it. And if you go watch my ones from last October, like I'm a lot more awkward, but like I got better, it's just like all of us with Zoom, right? So, there's a lot of really cool applications I've seen of this. So this is our local cooperative extension, and they've started doing these local food showcases. So they have people come on and kind of interview these farmers and these food producers, and look at the views on this, 404 views from a week ago. So picture your local cooperative extension. I bet a lot of them would kill for like 100 views on something, right? On a post that they did or an event that they're doing. So they're starting to do some stuff with local food showcases, and and I think it's going pretty well for them. I think they're also using StreamYard. And something I did back in December was I did this. I called it the local shopping network. So I did, as you see, a 5-hour stream by myself, and I had different business owners come on and talk about their like products and services. And we did have people who stayed for the whole thing. I know because they kept leaving comments on Facebook, and I would feature them. But here we go. Okay. But what we ended up doing after the fact was we added. Come on. We did timestamps for all the businesses. So like if if somebody wanted to watch, these guys were hilarious. They were like trimming hemp while dressed up like elves. So anyway, point being is that people were kind of engaged with this sort of buy local online idea, and we just featured different products and services that were online at that time. And I will say that, like I said, live streaming, if you look at the numbers, and I won't show this because I've already gone on too long. But point being is that it really helps your numbers in terms of your engagement on social media, in terms of, I see clicks through to the website. I see people rewatching videos, even in some cases years later. So yeah, I would say that if you're an event person and you want to show people what you're like on camera and you want to get some free social media and maybe blog content, that live streaming might be, like I said, a good tool. It's not a tool for everything, obviously, but it could be a tool for some of the events that you're running or parts of some of the events that you're running.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. So I have some questions that have come in that we're going to address. And then our next activity is already set up. That's where we're going to get to choose your own adventure, going from room to room. But before we dive in, let's see if we can answer a couple of these questions now, Nicole, and then maybe I see more questions are going to keep coming in and we can answer the rest when we come back from that exercise. So if you do have any questions for Nicole about this, go ahead and put them in. We'll talk about a few of them now. So first of all, thank you. That was a really awesome presentation. Great overview. I think people are starting to think about how they might apply this in their own life. And I will say that after not doing it for like months and months and months, I just finally applied for LinkedIn Live.
Did you get accepted?
No. Today, like 10 seconds ago.
I was going to be like, you got accepted. It's okay.
Let's hope.
Yeah. And then you could get me in.
And then I can get you in. So the link that I use, so look in the comments, because I shared in chat, I shared the LinkedIn link that tells you what the requirements are. And then you just fill it out and they review. And if you meet the requirements or not, I mean, they're looking for things. So
yeah.
So thank you for the inspiration. So there's a couple of sort of basic questions that people had. I want to get out of the way. What's the general cost of StreamYard?
Right. And a lot of these are very similar in terms of cost. So there's a free version of StreamYard, but it puts, the duck, it's pretty obnoxiously large on your stream. The $25 a month version of StreamYard lets you stream to 3 places at the same time. And the $50 a month version lets you stream to 8 places at the same time.
So for most of us,
probably $25 might be fine.
Because we don't have as many destinations as you have. On multiple LinkedIns and multiple
and like I said, you could add but it's at one time. Like you could preload 25 potential ones, but as long as you're only streaming to 3 at a time, it's $25 a month.
It seems like something really worth experimenting.
Yeah.
Why would you choose? You gave some reasons, like the green room aspect, people being on but not visible.
Yeah.
Is that like the main reason, or what are the other reasons you would choose this over specifically Facebook Live? And is there any benefit to using the built-in platform like video live stream, like Facebook has live stream or Instagram? So how would you think about that?
Yeah, so I like the band, like I said. So like when I am like, and let's take a look at this. So when I was doing that live stream to have bathroom breaks, I had commercials. So I said, and now a commercial break, and I would put it on, and it would just go full screen, mute me, and play as long as it was on the screen. And I like the banners. It kind of just gives a little bit of a production value.
Yeah, more polished.
It feels polished. And I liked, like I said, that it could go all the places at the same time versus me streaming just on Facebook. And then I'm like, oh, but I have 82. So by the way, I have less than 100 people on YouTube. So if you want to subscribe to YouTube, feel free to
go ahead.
do that. That'd be lovely. Thanks. Yeah, I'll put it in after we're done talking. But
you kind of
I just didn't want to do more than one. I didn't want to do like multiple ones. I just like to do it and then be done and have it be everywhere.
So definitely share your LinkedIn, your YouTube. I mean, we'll see if we can get you over that 100 hump. But the other thing you kind of breezed past, but I want to make sure people get is that if you were, let's say, in Zoom and you were live streaming to Facebook, you would have to moderate the comments in Zoom, assuming you had other participants with you, and you'd have to moderate Facebook. One of the things that I love about StreamYard is that the comments from Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and YouTube all
pull into one interface.
So one interface that you're already in. And if you like the comment, you can do the thing where you like feature it on the, I mean, that's just so neat. I've not used StreamYard as a host, but I've many times been a guest speaker or be interviewed or podcast or live stream show or something like that. So that's just really neat because I think that you could just make yourself go blind trying to like cover all these different.
Yeah. And then what, you have like 5 tabs open and you're trying to like
Yeah.
see, and then
while
you're like,
looking at the
oh,
camera.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is where too, like if you had a lot of people, like having another, producer would be helpful. Somebody could be, dealing with the people in the green room and putting them on the screen, and you could be like the talent that is like presenting the
Right.
stuff.
Producing might still be useful. Yeah.
Yeah. For
Now,
sure.
you did have that 5-hour live stream that was like a special event that you did, 6
Yeah.
hours, whatever it was. So clearly there's not a limit for how long you can live stream.
Nope.
Average live stream, like,
so like
how do you think about
LinkedIn
that?
limits your videos to 15 minutes long, as does, I feel like there's one other platform that makes you have 15-minute videos or less.
15. Okay.
1.5. Yeah. So I would say that's like an upper limit if you want to use those particular platforms. But yeah, in general, I like to keep mine to, I mean, the thing is, it's really hard to, I use TikTok and stuff, and like keeping it to 60 seconds and being instructional can be hard. So like, I like having, so when I do now a 10 or 15-minute thing, it feels long. Like that thing felt long. I'm not sure how long I went. I meant to check the time before I
That's
started.
20 minutes.
So sorry. Yeah.
That's good.
That's about the length of my live stream right there.
And
so
the last question, I'm going to do, and then we're going to morph into the these breakout rooms, and keep the questions coming. We'll definitely come back to this and any questions you have about Zoom.
Yeah.
As well. So you mentioned Zapier and IFT. And I don't know what continent I live on that I have to call it Zapier, but
Australia.
So, yeah.
I follow an Australian woman and she always calls it Zapier. And I'm just like,
I like Zapier. I don't like Zapier. I don't know why. So, and maybe who I learned it from. So what are you integrating with? Someone here asked, Rachel asked, is it for integrating with WordPress? Like, give us some examples of why you would need IFT and Zapier to like integrate.
Okay. So you finished your live stream and you're like, okay, I'm done. And maybe I want to post show notes, but then you're like, oh, but I want it to go on my blog. Oh, I want it to go to my email list. And what it becomes is like taking that video and pasting the embed in, taking the notes and pasting the embed in. And I don't know, I think you have a better use of 15 minutes of your life than doing that. So what I've done is, like I said, I just put my show notes under the description of my video. And then I use a service like this to go to YouTube and take the title of the video embed, the title of the video, and the description of the video, and port it into my website. And then once that is done, the next day I have MailChimp set up to check my RSS feed the day after. And if there's something new, send to the email list. It basically just saves me a little bit of admin stuff. But, Zapier, or if this, then that, or, or Zapier, or whatever you want to call it, you can integrate for other things too. Like I have a few clients that are like VIPs. And so what I do now, when they email me, I have it send a text message to my phone that they've emailed me. So I can be very responsive without checking my email all the time. So there's other applications of this too. Just think of like, oh, I really wish like my Google Calendar would blah. Like somebody has probably made an integration that will do it. So
I had one for a while when I first learned about IFT like 8 years ago. It told me whether or not to bring an umbrella. So it just sent me a text on the days that I had to have an umbrella with me. It texted me in the morning because the weather was saying.
Yeah. And it's neat to just browse like what they have. You can subscribe to their email newsletter and they'll be like, oh, here's some of the new like integrations we've done. And you're like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to kind of do something with that. So
thank you very much. And
Yeah.
We're now going to morph into our next program.
Let's do it.
Keep the questions coming for Nicole. Nicole, thank you for all the things you do for our community. I really appreciate you.
No, love it.